The Funda UJabule school was established basically when UJ was established. And it was during the time that we decided that we wanted teacher education on our Soweto campus. And we wanted to specifically start with primary school teacher education, which we had not offered before on that campus. And I asked myself, what can we do for teacher education in that campus to make it really special, to make it unique in the country? And I was aware of schools that are being used in Finland called teaching schools. They also use other terms that are associated with universities for teacher training. One is also aware that health practitioners training use teaching hospitals. And there were also some schools in the US that I was aware of that were associated with teacher education institutions. And that's where the idea came from. But I wanted us to develop something unique in South Africa. Yes, we learned from other institutions worldwide, but we wanted something unique in South Africa. Well, it's the only one of its kind in South Africa at the moment. But its uniqueness also lies in the fact that we developed the curriculum for teacher education with a school as integral to the curriculum. So what we did, for instance, was to emphasize that if one wants to be a good teacher, you really need to understand children deeply. And one of the important principles of that curriculum was child study. So our student teachers spend time in the school studying the children. And they do it in a very unique way, which is really something, when I explained this internationally, that people get very excited about. When they are in their first year of study, they study the grade R children. Then in their second year of study, they study the same group of children in grade 1. And then the next year, they study the same group of children in grade 2. So in that way, they really get a very good understanding about how these children develop. And we think that's unique. Funda, learn, UJabule, be joyful. Learn and be joyful. But there's something very special also there. If one looks how we spell the name, UJ in UJabule is incorporated there. So even though the school's name is Funda UJabule, which is about we want our children to learn and be joyful, we incorporated the UJ as part of the name. So actually when one spells the name, one needs to make sure that the UJ are both in capitals in the name.
It's a special type of school because obviously it is a school that caters to learners from the surrounding community, but it is also a teacher training site. And so there's a movement of our students between the university classroom and the school on a regular basis so that they can learn and observe how children learn, how they develop over time, what they struggle with. And this deepens their understanding of what it is to be a primary school teacher.
I'm very thankful when we wanted to establish this school at UJ that the Vice Chancellor during that stage thought that was also a good idea. You know, going to a Vice Chancellor and to the MEC and say, we want to start a school on our Soweto campus. And the support that was given, that is amazing. But also the support that was given by Minister Motshekga. She was at that stage the MEC of Education. And I remember very well when to visit her and put this idea forward and that she supported it. I would say yes, the school is really adding significant value to our teacher education programs. The students have the experience of spending time in a school that is run well over 4 years. They have the opportunity to interact with these children in a way that they won't get in any other situation. But let's also be honest, as all projects, we still can improve. There's always room for improvement and working on renewals, etc. Last year, for instance, we started something new also at the school, which is a maker space. It's a lovely space at the school where the children are being taught to learn through making stuff, but also it's a part of our teacher training that happens at the Funda UJabule school. There's no such schools like this one in South Africa. There was a lot of interest, but it is a challenging project to start with. And as I said, we are extremely grateful that the Vice-Chancellor and the MEC at that stage, when we wanted to start with this, was willing to invest in this. And that is the reason why we could do it. I'm very proud of what we've established there. It also gave me quite a few of grey hairs, I must assure you. But I'm extremely proud. But I'm also very, very grateful to all the colleagues at the Soweto campus who invested in the school, who have put in their energy, who have put in their passion for the school. And I'm also particularly thinking of the current Dean of the Faculty of Education, Prof. Nadine Peterson.
And the very important role language, mother tongue education, plays in the development and the learning of young children, particularly in the very early years. The school has a policy of translation, so we teach in English and we teach in 2 African languages, Sesotho and isiZulu. And both the DG and her guests, including the Chancellor, watched a lesson in which this was put into operation for teaching our millions of children in the country and setting a solid foundation for all these kids to really get to matric, do well, and eventually come into university settings like the University of Johannesburg.
Yes, it was my dream. I initiated, but you need a team, a good team, a solid team, a committed team to make it happen. And I'm so grateful that I had such a team.
The University of Johannesburg, the future reimagined.